Hi and welcome to Take Time to Create. This is where we take time out of our everyday lives to create new and wonderful things. Today is another installment of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Art Journal. Just love that name. Just is awesome. So I already sent off my first journal page to the next person on my list, and I received this one in. So here's the journal I received. There's a note in here. It says, Linda, isn't this fun? Enjoy. So I love the little note. All right, I'm gonna cover up the address. There we go. And the theme is tea and coffee, or coffee and tea. So that's a really cool theme. All right, and this is her page. Look how beautiful this is. She's using a Ranger journal, and these are great. It's just a Ranger journal, and I love these. Perfect size. It's great for travel, and it's great to mail. And I love this page. She did a collage, and we have some ribbon here and a great big focal point of coffee, and we have a tea page over here, and she has little tea, like the, I don't know what those are called, like the little paper part that you hold on to when you dip your tea bag, so it's a little container of that. So she did coffee and she did tea, you know, coffee and tea, tea and coffee. I'm honestly just probably going to do tea. I don't know, but I really like it. It's really cool. This is even a coffee filter here, it looks like, and so I love this. Really cool, great inspiration. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now what I'm going to do is start the process. So this first layer, so I'm going to actually cut out really pretty teacups. I'm going to hand cut them out, and I'm going to use this specialty paper, Amy Butler K & Company brand. And I'm actually going to pick my paper right now before I paint the background, and that's so I can make sure everything matches. So I picked 4 papers, and I think this pattern is too big, as gorgeous as it is. I think I might use a smaller one, and I think I might use, I'm not sure. I have 4 here. I might do 4 cups, or I might keep with 3, but that's okay. But it's in the same color family, so I can use similar colors, and that will work really well. I think I'm going to go with these 3. So Liquitex Basics, and I have Raw Sienna, Titanium White, and Cadmium Yellow. I might be throwing in some other colors. We'll see how it goes, but that's what we're going to start with. What we're going to do is we're going to use a roller speedball brayer, and I have some scratch paper on the side that I'm just going to leave over here to brayer off and clean off my brayer. And I am just going to use some colors, just a little bit, just a tiny bit, dab it on here and there. And this is just layer 1 out of a million, you know that. Okay, really cool. All right, so I like this layer. So I'm going to leave this layer. I really like how it turned out. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to let this dry. You can always dry it with a heat tool, and we'll be back. So what I'm going to do now is I have this pack I got from Michael's. It's another Finnabar product, and I really love the stencil in the background. I love this, and so what I want to do with this is I am going to use this acrylic matte medium. It's a little bit transparent, and since it's transparent, I am going to be able to have the color from the background show through, but I will be able to have some texture on here and some detail, which is really cool, but it's not going to take away from the background. It'll just enhance, and as I add more mediums on top, it'll be all bumpy, which I love. So I'm just pouring it on this brush. It's easy. I already have it. It's already dirty. One less thing to dirty up. All right, this is so cool. All right, I just stick it on here. All right, so I have that, and if I tilt it to the side, you can see, and my gesso wasn't 100% dry, so you can kind of see there's a little bit of texture when I peeled off the stencil, and I love it. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so this needs to dry. Dry it with a heat tool or just leave it dry overnight. I think I'm going to go get dinner, and then I'll be right back, and then I will finish this page. So, be right back. All right, so this is all dry now, and of course I'm going to add a little bit more. I have Stain, and this is from Tim Holtz, and this is Hickory Smoke, and it's super duper pretty. Shake it up, and I'm just going to lightly mist over, and I'm just going to blot off some of it because I don't want a ton. Just a little bit to add some really cool texture. All right. Now I'm going to take some of the stamps in that same Vinnabar set that I had the stencil in, and I'm just going to use this text one right here. And I'm just going to add a little more detail in the background. This background has got a lot going on, but I'm using a lot more on the neutral side. I'm just going to use some black archival ink. I really like the archival ink because it stays on, and as I add more mediums on top of everything, it works out great. This is a giant acrylic block, but that's all I could find. I'm just gonna kind of stamp around. Now I think I'm ready to add my teacups. I'm using the matte medium, and I'm going to put the saucer down first because everything is gonna kind of go off of the saucer. That's going to go about right here. Don't forget to go all the way to the edges, get your handle, and I'm going to put a layer on top as well, just to really protect it because I want to make sure it stays. I don't want it to come off. I don't want... These are going in the mail in transit, so I want to make sure it stays. All right, so this needs to dry, this layer here, before we can add other things on top. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to put a quote on here, and I put my blood type is T, and of course it's not adhered down. I'm using K & Company, and these are actually Christmas cheer alphabet stickers. I don't know, are they really a sticker? I didn't think they were, but they say alphabet sticker, but I don't see any back to peel off, so I'm just going to use matte medium to stick them down, which will be perfect. I know they say Christmas, but you can't really tell that they're Christmassy, and by the time I add everything else on top of it, you won't be able to tell. So what I'm going to do before I do that, I'm going to scooch all these little guys off. I know the option for these for this art journal page is to do either coffee and tea, but I decided to go exactly with tea because that's my favorite. So I decided to go in a direction rather than both. I hope that's okay. I hope I'm not in trouble, but I doubt I will be. It's an art journal page. We're supposed to be flexible. So I have this stencil, and it's just kind of a splotch stencil. I'm going to use this, the rings, and I'm going to use Memento. I have Desert Sand and Rich Cocoa, and I'm just using a makeup sponge to soak it a little bit. The desert sand doesn't show up very good, so I'm going to use the cocoa one. And I'm just getting a little bit of a hint. Oh yeah, that's cute. So now I'm going to put down the letters. And this will be a little bit, but take your time, be patient. I think this is why these letters were at Who Gives a Scrap. It's because they're kind of a pain in the butt to do, but that's okay. It's worth it. I got the whole package for $1. So can't beat that. Always look at your creative reuse centers. You never know what you're going to find. Okay. All right, this is gonna take a little bit. I'm gonna finish this and I'll be right back. All right. So I have the text and it's here adhered down. My blood type is T. So now I'm going to start adding detail because these are just kind of blending into the background. I have these Faber-Castell crayons. I don't even know what they're called, but there's some kind of crayon. They react with water. So I am just going to start using various colors and just kind of making it known that this is a teacup. And I'm going to highlight around I'm going to highlight around the letters as well. And so I'm just going to go ahead and color, and I'll probably use some pins to really emphasize things. So then I'll just take a round brush and I'm just going to start moving this crayon around, start to spread things and get shadows and really start to emphasize things. And yeah, that's my next step. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And if you get too much, like most things, just kind of blot it off and go to town. So that's my next step. Let's color. All right, so I have all of the crayon done. So now I'm just going to add some Faber-Castell Artist Pin, and I'm just going to kind of draw around, and I'm kind of making it not straight. I'm just sketching it out because I really want it to be a little imperfect, and I'm going to make some teacups. So that is my style, where I just kind of sketch it out. I like the imperfectness of it, so I'm going to continue with that, and then we'll be right back. And oh, and I might add some white. I have just a Uniball white. I'm going to see. I don't know if I'm going to add white or not. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see what happens. All right, let me get decorating. There we go. I'm all done with my next art journal page for the Sisterhood of the Traveling Art Journal. This was very fun to do. I got out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I love that. So don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone and see what new things you can do. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and if you want to be notified of when my next videos are live, go ahead and hit that notification bell. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and on my blog. I do have 2 Instagrams. I have Take Time to Create, which is all my crafty goodies, and I have Linda's Journey 78, which is all of my personal things, and you can follow me on my journey. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.